A subscriber recently challenged me to a 1v1. Okay, it wasn't really a challenge, he just asked me to play some friendlies. So that's what we did. Before we get into the games, I do need to provide a little bit of context. We spent a long time organising the games, things like time and date, team strength, etc. But the one thing we didn't ask was which platform we played on. Turns out he plays on PlayStation and I'm on PC. But Serg has very kindly let me use his second account so we could actually play some games. Just as I thought things were going well, we managed to play 2 games, but then the recordings were not saved for some reason, so I lost the footage of the games. But just to recount what happened in those games, I actually got destroyed in the first game by 5 goals to 1. Maybe that's why I lost the footage, who knows? I'm just kidding, of course. But that just highlights how good of a player Serg is. We then played a second game where I managed to save some dignity with a 2-1 win, but only because I pounced on a mistake from the back. So all in all, the second game was very close. We then rescheduled to play more games and luckily this time the footage wasn't lost. So I'm going to show you the highlights from our games now. So here are the squads that we used. We both agreed on not using any epics or legends, which kind of makes it more interesting, I think. So here we go, first game. I've included a kickoff here because he lost the ball very quickly. From then on it's just my usual possession thing, just passing around, being patient, waiting for the space. And it was from this point that I spotted Valverde was free in midfield and I pounced on his CB coming out, and that was a very early goal for me. Next kickoff. Oh dear, he still hasn't learned. Here I'm just showing how I circulate the ball. If there's no option going forward, then I pass back, including the keeper. From here Serg got a chance to counter. Notice how I didn't charge at the ball, I'm just positioning myself so I can slow down the counter. Though he nearly scored from this. Here we'll also see that Serg is applying a similar principle, recycling the ball and restarting the attack. Going back all the way to a left back. And now he found space for Nkunku to shoot. But luckily I managed to block. Again here, I didn't want to force anything to happen, so I passed back. And I found Lewandowski in a little bit of space, and I waited for him to react, and I found the space to shoot. Third kickoff, I think Serg has finally learned his lesson. I think it's important to point out that obviously we've played 2 games prior to this, and we're starting to understand each other's play a lot, and hence you'll see a lot of trying to read each other's minds and predict where the pass is going, etc. Case in point here, I anticipated that he would pass to the wing and a little dummy to create space for me to shoot. Start of the second half. I think Serg is beginning to find his feet and he created a few chances to shoot. One thing I admire about Serg's playing is that his ability to read where the space is. I mean, look at this pass here, just beautiful. Just unlucky that he didn't manage to score. I've included this clip because this is just a classic build-up. Just always trying to use the space, find the player who's free. Sometimes use a little bit of dribbling as well. And now the right back is free, but I didn't use him because I thought Serg would cut out the pass.
Oh, great chance. Can he finish?
Late game he's put on San Maximan, and you'll see that my defending is not very tight. The first reason is obviously because of the good dribbling, but secondly, San Maximan doesn't have good crossing stats, so I didn't have to worry about him doing that. Another example of this, though this one could have easily been a goal. And that's the end of the first game. Have a look at the stats, especially interceptions. I was only intercepted 4 times in the whole game. I know a lot of people complain about the game being an interception fest, but it's only that way if you pass carelessly. Hang on a minute, something doesn't look right. It was only after the game that I realized I've been using quick counter the whole game. I'm so ashamed of myself. Just kidding, of course. The second game I made sure that I was using possession with Rijkaard. The start of the second game was a bit more quiet. Here, just have a look how Serg doesn't immediately kick the ball forward when he regains the ball. It's waiting for the right moment. Now we found the wing is free. And here we have the first goal of the game. Just an unfortunate interception and just a bit of a lucky goal. Especially with the fullback covering the offside, which is one of my biggest pet peeves in the game. So this goal was nothing to be proud of, really. Here again, you're seeing more and more cancelling because we're getting used to how we played. And I thought this was a brilliant pass. He waited for me to create a space for him. Once again, I'm giving him a lot of space on the wing because he has Rodrigo in the middle. He got caught by my offside trap here, which was called a lot later for some reason. Again, this was brilliantly done. Just look at how he doesn't immediately kick the ball forward. He made just one back pass and then he found the wing was free. But again, offside trap, and this won't be the last one.
The most accurate pass.
I thought this clip would be a perfect opportunity for me to demonstrate why I use offside trap. Most importantly, I wanted to manually track this guy at the bottom because he is the most dangerous option. But then the other CB is running back on his own and breaking the back line. So since we can't control 2 players at the same time, I'm manually tracking the runner and then using offside trap to bring the rest of the line back up. So here you can see I have the bottom option covered and ready to intercept any passes. And luckily the player at the top was offside. Here we have a counter attack. I think he mixed up with the buttons here and gave me a lot of space. And look at who is here with the finish. Andy Robertson. And that's why I love fullback finishers. Of course, offside trap doesn't always work. But here I was very lucky not to concede a goal. But then I went and did this. I mean, clearly I was getting a bit too comfortable. But kudos to Serg for the very composed finish. But that's okay, no harm done, because I was able to regain that 2-goal advantage from this kickoff. I mean, speak about kickoff goals, but obviously this is done differently. Using Haaland's physical contact here to gain a bit of space, and now Morgan Rogers with a finish once again. And that was pretty much the last important action of the game. And here we are again with the stats of the game. And with the third game I decided to do something a little bit different, rocking this 3-6-1 formation. It's interesting to see how Serg's passing has changed. He's a lot more careful now since we're beginning to read each other a lot more. But here I was able to read him and intercept, but I was caught in 2 minds and wasn't able to make anything out of it. Then I tried to use offside trap here, but it was actually just onside. You can see here I thought it was offside as well. And again I was very lucky not to concede a goal here. And then we have this. I don't know what actually happened. I activated the offside trap here, but somehow I was the one actually destroying the offside line. Absolute brain fart moment and no one to blame for, really. This time I did manage to get the offside right. Now I'm the one doing the pressing here. And he is actually playing with fire. I found Lewandowski in a very good position to score, but Koundé managed to block it. Very unlucky not to equalise here. We're starting to see Serg playing with a little bit more confidence here. Absolutely destroyed me with a double touch. But again, offside trap. Because I'm using 3 at the back, he's finding a lot more space on the wing here. Again, tried to use the offside trap, it didn't work. I think if he had gone for a different finish or taken a touch, that would have been a goal. Last action of the game, I managed to get in a very dangerous position, but well defended by Serg. And that was the last action of the game. A well-deserved victory. In the end, it was very close. But just to reiterate a point I keep making, over the 3 games, we've not had interceptions over 15. And again, just to show you, the game doesn't have to be an interception fest. It's only like that if you press without thinking or you're rushing your passes. So in the end, we both enjoyed the games. Even in the game where I lost 5-1. Serg is a very good player, and it was very enjoyable to play some actual football with like-minded people. And that's the thing, guys, I keep saying that. Personally, whether a player is good or not isn't defined by how high his rank or his win rate is. And it's not about winning or losing. I've beaten players from Division 2 who I consider to be better players than any of the top 10 players who just spam the same move again and again. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Comment below what you think of Serg's playing. Once again, big shout out to Serg for not only letting me use his account, but also for joining the superstar tier of my membership. Normally I only offer gameplay with my legend tier members, but who knows, sometimes I might just play with my other members. So if you want to play with me, then be sure to click the link in the description. See you in the next one.